All right, welcome back everyone to today's Appraisal Buzz webinar with Aivre, transforming appraisals with Aivre, the first GSE verified software for UAD 3.6. And UAD 3.6 has been on the horizon for a while, but it is here. The first appraiser has done an appraisal with a UAD 3.6. If you get an order right now to do a UAD 3.6 appraisal, what are you going to do? Well, we have two people here that are going to tell you what to do and how to do it, as Jake Liu and Jordan Lesson from Aivre are here to talk about their GSE-Verified software appraisal. Guys, come on in.
Hey, everyone. How are you guys? Thanks for joining. Hey, Jim.
Well, I'm going to let Jake and Jordan get started on a demo so you can see how the product works and how you can do a UAD 3.6 appraisal. Take it away, guys.
Just so everyone doesn't know who we are, this is Jordan and I. A little background on myself. My name's Jake Liu. I'm a certified residential appraiser in the state of Michigan. I saw some Michigander folks coming in the chat, so it's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. So Aivre, it was the first UAD 3.6 verified software vendor that we got verified a few weeks ago. We harness the power of AI to help complete real estate UAD 3.6 reports. From here, I'll let Jordan give his background, and we'll start with the demo.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm Jordan, everyone. I'm kind of the tech guy here at Aivre. Everything that you'll see in this demo here is something that me and my team of developers have spent the last 8-9 months working on, and we take a lot of pride in showing. I've worked in the software consulting space for about 6 years now, and I am a trainee appraiser myself. So, yeah, and without further ado, that's a little bit about me. I'll go ahead and share my screen and we'll get into this demo. And as I'm going through, guys, feel free to comment in that chat if you have any questions. Jake will be sure to stop me as I'm going through and we'll be sure to answer them. So that being said, this is Aivre. This is the Aivre platform here. We are the first GSE verified software. Our software is completely web-based, which just means that wherever you have Wi-Fi, you'll be able to access your reports. We are no longer in the age of using desktop software. Everything is in the cloud. Everything's accessible through your browser, via Wi-Fi, so on and so forth. So that's something that's a little bit different about us when compared to some of our competitors. Additionally, part of the reason why we chose to build Aivre from the beginning is that we disliked the fact that some of the other software providers, they required you to use third parties in order to collect all the information for the report. So maybe you'd go to a different provider for your sketch, maybe a different provider for your MLS and your MLS data and analytics. And what we've done is we condensed it all into one platform here. So what you'll see here in Aivre is a full reporting software for 3.6, a full analytics platform built in. We have a mobile app, a sketching software, and we have a ton of cool AI features and a ton of stuff on the roadmap. So lots of exciting things to come by the end of the year. So keep an eye out for that and make sure you guys are on our newsletter and reach out on aivre.com to get on that. So without further ado, I'll go into the Aivre reporting software here. What you see on my screen is a 3.6 report for a single family home. Essentially, on this left side here, you'll see a navigation panel. And this navigation panel will have all the sections of the 3.6 report here. You'll be able to click through each section. It will open up on the page. If you want to, you can navigate to a subsection of the report. And that's just one way we make it easy for you. Additionally, on this right side here, we have a tools panel. And essentially, these are all the tools that will help you with filling out the 3.6 report. So first and foremost, we allow you to upload files to your work file. And these are saved per report. And these are like images, PDFs, things that we will store for the next 5 years for you. So you can see I have some images here that I can choose and view while filling out the report. Additionally, kind of one of the bigger innovations that we came up with was our AI chatbot, which we've named Ava. And essentially, this chatbot is knowledgeable about everything related to UAD 3.6. And what that means is literally the documentation, the reference guides that Freddie and Fandy have given out to the public, we've given to the chatbot to be knowledgeable about. So that's something I'll be showing off while going through this report. I'll be going through questions, consulting the chatbot, making sure I understand what's going on. We figured this is kind of there should be no confusion when filling out this report because Ava should be knowledgeable and give you all the help you need while filling this out. Additionally, we give you data validation or just like UAD compliance checks as you're filling out the report. So on this current page here, I have nothing that's missing. So we see no issues, but if we did, we'd see like a red X mark pointing out to which field has a compliance error. And then another thing to show off here is we are integrated with both the Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae compliance checkers, the UAD compliance checkers. You'll be able to see warnings, fatal errors, and see which sections of the report they deal with. And then you'll be able to go and resolve them and validate again. This is kind of that last check before you submit to your client, just to make sure your report is all set and valid. And then lastly, a part of our tools panel is our export options here. So we give you 3 export options. One is exporting straight to an XML file. Another is exporting straight to a PDF file. We imagine as you're filling it out, you're going to be exporting the PDF quite a bit, just to kind of check to see how it looks on the new 3.6 report. And then lastly, what we call the complete package. It's really just a zip file that includes the prior 2 files I mentioned and a folder of images. And this is what you're going to be providing to your clients once you're done with your appraisal report. So with that being said, I'll kind of go into the actual reporting process, talk a little bit about that, the flow that we chose to build for you. So first and foremost, this is the assignment information section. This is where you'll include all the contacts, all the parties involved with filling out the appraisal report. So you'll list borrowers, sellers, owners, any clients. You also give information on the appraiser, supervisory appraiser, and significant real property appraisal assistance. It should be noted that the appraiser information will port over from your profile, so there's no need to keep on refilling it out upon each report creation. So that's the automation we did for you. But in terms of the overall report, we made the whole reporting process as easy as possible. And what I mean by that is that we've created components, essentially what we call form fields, that are reused throughout the entire report. So for here, an example would be like an allowable answer field where we give you a list of options that you can choose from, and you'll be able to select from it. Check boxes, free form fields. We give you contact cards. Another thing called tab containers, which is something I'll go into. These are all fields, components that we've created for you to help organize your data better and make you fill out the report faster. Another thing to show with this report is that it's dynamic. I'm sure you guys have all heard that. So when I press a certain answer to a question, I might be required to give an additional response. So, for example, if I note that the appraisal is a government agency appraisal, it's going to prompt me to note which agency it's for. So here I've selected FHA, and that will gear the report towards an FHA appraisal. You'll see fields on this report that you wouldn't see otherwise. For example, is when I fill out the appraiser information, it's going to prompt me to enter in the FHA appraiser ID as shown here. So that's something you wouldn't see on a VA or a non-government appraisal report. So that's the assignment information. I'll go into the subject property section here. The subject property section is pretty straightforward. You're giving an overview of the subject property, such as address, county, neighborhood name. You're also noting whether it's in a planned urban unit, a planned unit development, a PUD, or if it's in a project. If you do note that it's in either or, a PUD or a project, you'll be required to fill out the project information section as well. So there's a whole additional section that you'll be wanted to fill out if that is true. And that's kind of the replacement for like the 1073 form. Additionally, you'll be providing the attachment type, the number of units on the property, any ADUs, and the number of dwellings as well. Some other things to show off here is like if the ownership rights are maybe leasehold, we're going to be required to fill out quite a bit more information than if it was a fee simple appraisal. And you guys may have noticed, but next to each field, or most fields that we have on this report, we include this button here, which is our Ask Ava button. And essentially, I could press this. It would autofill a prompt into the chatbot here. And we can go ahead and submit this prompt. Ava will do some thinking, and it will output a complete description of that field, any guidance, any definitions, reasons when we would need it. It would also cite the page in which it found it on. And these are all from the Freddie and Fannie's reference guide. That's a document F1, if any of you guys are familiar there. So again, we want to basically encourage all people using our platform to heavily utilize Ava because it should remove any confusion, again, when filling out this report. Additionally, for each section of the report, you'll usually have a commentary field, which is essentially a text addendum that's specific to the section. You'll provide additional supporting information there that maybe wasn't collected in the prior fields up here. So that's this commentary field. And then additionally, you'll have an exhibits field. And an exhibit field, exhibits just mean images. So these are just additional images that maybe give more support to this specific section of the 3.6 report. So that's the subject property section. I'll show off the site section here now. Going to be basically providing an overview of the land. One way that we help you organize this data is by using something called tab containers, which is this element on the page here. And essentially, this part of the report wants you to summarize information for each parcel on the property. And I can add 1, 2, 3 parcels here, maybe more if I want. But the main thing I want to show off is that we organize each one of them into its own field, into its own tab. So you can jump back and forth between the two. And so you should not be overwhelmed with data. This report is big. It's definitely bigger than the 2.6 reports, but it's organized. It's structured in a really good way that makes it easy to read. So that's just some of the ways that we organize that data for you. And this tab container element shows up all throughout the report, which you'll see. Other things to show off is that, let's say, zoning for this property is illegal. Again, like we've seen before, you're going to have to provide additional information if that is. So we'll put that back to legal. It is required to upload a property access photo. I just have a photo of a toilet here. This is obviously not the accessible photo for the property. You'd usually upload like a front view, maybe the street view. of it. So there's something to note there that is required. You'll also be noted to enter in anything that influences site. You'll be able to choose from a list of influences here. For example, probably the one you'll use a lot is body of water. It definitely is the most descriptive that you need to be with any of these influence types. But essentially, if we choose that the property does border a body of water, you'll need to show how close it is. So it's bordering, the impact of it. Maybe it's beneficial, it adds value to it, some sort of comment. We'll just put some random comment here. And then you'll need to note down each body of water type that's included in the report. So, for example, we have bay, canal, cove, creek. Let's say we have a lake. And if we do have a lake, we'll have to specify whether the property has private access rights. And if it does, we'll again have to answer more information related to it. It's things like waterfront access rights, which we'll say is by a permit. And then lastly, this field, which I kind of want to show off here, is the access depth of that water. So this is a new field that wasn't included in the 2.6 report. You may be asking yourself, like, what does it mean? What is the access depth of this body of water, this lake here? The options that they give you are deep water, non-navigable, and shallow water. And so you may be asking yourself, what's the difference between those options? How deep is deep water? And again, this is another place where we would advise you to ask Aivre. Click this blue button here. You can press send. Aivre will do some thinking and then give you all the classification types for that field. So for example, deep water is, I'll just summarize this once it's done outputting things, but it should tell you all the definitions for those allowable answers here. So here we go. It says deep water is 4 feet or deeper. Shallow water is 2 to 4 feet deep. And non-navigable water is considered to be less than 2 feet deep. And so this is just an estimation. They're not asking you, the GSEs aren't asking you to put on your scuba gear and go into the water with your tape measure and actually measure it, but we're just going to estimate it. And so let's say this lake water was deep water. Let's say it was deeper than 4 feet. We'd put that there. So that's kind of an example of a body of water and some of the additional information you need to include with it. So there's that. And then there's a lot of other information, such as any environmental conditions. You'll list the views on the property.
Hey, Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, go off camera so it can pop up full screen for the users so they can see it. Get some there you go. That should work. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, how is that? Does that look better?
And for everyone who can't see it, please make the screen full screen size on the top right-hand corner. It'll open it up a little bit more.
I can also zoom in here a bit just to make it easier. But additionally, you'll need to note hazard zones here, property restrictions, easements, encroachments, any additional site characteristics. You'll be able to note within the section, the utilities on the property, electricity, gas, sanitary sewer, and water. Another thing to show off here are defects. So there are 6 different sections that have places where you'll need to include defects on the property. And essentially for each defect that you note, you'll need to describe what it is, the location of it on the property, a more detailed description of what it is, whether it affects the soundness or structural integrity, and the recommended action. So those are some things that you'll note down with the feature, and it should be, or with each defect, and it should be known that for each defect, you'll also need to provide a photo exhibit too. So that's just something to note there. Okay, so that's the site section. We'll go down to the market section here. The market section is kind of a replacement of what the 1004 MC was. It essentially gives an overview of the market. So you're going to be giving a description of the market boundaries, your search criteria you did for defining your market. Um, you'll note down metrics like active listings, pending sales, and then sales within like a look back period, which for here we have specified as 24 months. This is stuff that we all automate for you, right? So part of the onboarding process is that we can we'll grab your MLS ID and boards that you provide us, and we link together with 95% of MLS boards across the nation. Essentially, we provide a analytics platform to view listings, to define a market, and also to provide graphs for you. And so we'll allow you to essentially generate that market data and analysis, but also import it directly into your report. So just another way that we're trying to be kind of that full service platform instead of leveraging other softwares to help you with that. And that's something I'll show off shortly, or maybe I'll show that off right now. And then after that, we could take a look at the sales comparison approach. But I guess right now, this might be a good place to stop, maybe answer some questions if there are any in the chat. Does it look like there's any here?
I think we're good now. To answer the 1004 MC, so yes, the 1004 MC is being retired by this market section. So that's a pretty. It looks the same. It's rebranded, reformatted. So basically, is the 1004 MC. Jordan, do you want to ask? Do you have a way to upload the MLS files and auto input the comps? Should we talk about the CSV files for the appraisers?
Yeah, I'll touch on it right now. As of right now, we basically just plug in directly to your MLS. So if we don't have connections to your MLS, we wouldn't be able to pull data because we know there's a lot of do not disclose states that won't provide their data, which is completely fine. And to answer that, because we know that exists a lot within the industry, we are allowing you to upload CSVs from your MLS. We'll intake those CSVs and display that data just as we would with data taken directly from your MLS. So there should be no problem there, and that's to come within the next 2 weeks here, which is very exciting as well.
So just answer a few common questions I'm kind of seeing. What if the inspection or location where we don't have internet or Wi-Fi? The data from your inspection will save locally to your device, and then will automatically populate into the report once cell service or Wi-Fi is achieved. For pricing, just to answer a quick question, I know a few people are asking in the chat. For limited production, we'll be completely free. Completely free. Try it out, play with it, use it. We'd love for everyone to get familiar with it. And then once kind of broad production hits, we'll be going down the road of a price per report model, just because we're the unknown volumes of UAD 3.6. For me, coming from an appraiser background, I can't ask appraisers to pay for two softwares with the unknown volume for 3.6 is. And on top of that, we understand that we're not offering a 2.6 platform, so that's why we're doing a kind of a price per report, kind of like a thing where you get one, we get one, everyone wins. For the pricing, we're still trying to work through that right now. We want to understand what the new fees will be for the appraisers. We're understanding from all of our demos and conversation that appraisers will be increasing their fees due to the larger amount of work. So we're trying to understand what those fees will be. Jordan and I, we discussed, and we want to be priced correctly. We don't want to go too high where we can't, the appraisers won't be able to afford us. And then for us as a company too, we have to make a little money too as well. So we're trying to be right in that middle price point where everyone essentially wins. I just got a message from Jason B. Yes, you can add multiple imports. Multiple MLS boards within your account. During your onboarding process, you'll be able to provide as many MLS numbers as possible into your profile.
Yep. And I'll take it from there. Talk about our Aivre analytics portion of our platform here. So what you see here is basically a neighborhood or like a market area with a subject, and we have here 632 listings for the subject. All we did is provide an address that was covered by our MLS provider. So here, me and Jacob from Michigan, we used the MLS called RealComp, and this was the data we were able to pull from it. From here, we'd be able to define a neighborhood. Let's say maybe I only want houses that are under this road, Woodward. I'd be able to go ahead and draw a perimeter around the neighborhood I want. I can name it. I can then save it, apply any additional filters that I feel needed. Things like listing status, whether it has a basement, price range, bedrooms, baths, a lot of typical stuff you'll see with these filtering tools. I can apply that. We have our neighborhood created. And then just from the click of a button here, I can go ahead and open up, I can do a whole market analysis. And what we're greeted here off the bat is a subject market value, which is done through regression analysis, and along with a ton of other metrics that could maybe help you, give you more support. So we can see how many listings were used in this market analysis and other things like that. Additionally, in this top part here, we can actually alter the time frame in which we're using the data. So if we only want data for the last 2 years or 1 year, we can actually see how the data changes as we increase or decrease that time frame. And then also additionally, from that market analysis, we create you these graphs, which will can be and are able to be imported into the report, specifically into that market section. So we see graphs here like median list price versus median sale price, absorption rate, median days on market, and year built of sales. These are all things, again, that are optionally can be imported into your market section. Also, we show price trends by property features. We show how prices of homes differ between when they have different amounts of these features. Additionally, we show historical market trends, showing close price versus close date. We can show how sale prices change over time. We can do that in a linear method, or we can do it in somewhat of a curved method to see maybe seasonality of the market as well. And all of these graphs and data that you see here is all exportable. We can export each graph individually here, or we have the option for you to download a market analysis PDF, which essentially just summarizes all the information in this modal here and puts it into a nice PDF that you'll be able to include either in your 3.6 or 2.6 reports. And you'd be also able to save this data to a report just by clicking the Save to Report button there. So that's the market analysis section there. I will talk about our paired sales analysis product here called Aivre Adjuster. And essentially, we take the market that was defined by us, and from the click of a button, we search through that market. We find how many pairs that can be used per paired sales analysis here. And what we can do is open up a workspace. We can select a feature that we want to define an adjustment for. So, for example, let's say lot size. We can take a look, and what we'll do is that we'll show you 2 pairs that we found that were similar together but differed in one thing. And here we chose its lot size. That we then define you a adjustment here that's a per unit basis. And with this workspace, we could just cycle through the different pairs we gave you. Maybe we don't like this one. Maybe we like this one. we think this could help support our adjustments in our report. We can select that, carry on to the review portion of it. We can take a look at it. We could finalize it, and then we can export it either as a PDF, which again will summarize the adjustment and the pairs involved with that adjustment, or import it into our report as well. And so this will eventually port over straight into the sales comparison approach there, which leads me to show off the sales comparison approach. So I will go ahead and open up this report here. 1 second.
Yeah, address some questions about Sketch. So yes, we do have an in-house Sketch platform that's linked to our mobile and through the web. Very basic, very similar to an Apex Sketch platform. LiDAR technology is down in our roadmap, and at the end of the year, hopefully, we're currently talking to a few groups that we want to be able to partner with on that one. But as of right now, just a simple drawing app that we're all used to.
Yep. And to talk a little bit about the sales comparison approach here, this is quite a big section of the report. The way that Jake and I think about this is like the GSEs are essentially requiring you to fill out almost an additional report for each comp. That's how thorough the new sales comparison approach is. And what I mean by that is the data. I mean, if I'll just scroll down here, you'll see all the data that can potentially be collected for your property and for your comps. And so there's site information. You'll need to summarize each dwelling information for the subject and comps. Exterior and interior quality. Energy efficient and green features is an optional field. Property amenities. Vehicle storage. So it basically what I'm saying, it's quite a big section that kind of our goal and how we figured our workflow will be is that we'll do all the work to kind of put it in perspective. What we plan on doing is creating automations to help you fill out 80% of the report at once done with your inspection. And then from there, all you'll have to do is focus on the sales comparison approach. Essentially come up with the value of it and have all the other fluff of the report being automated for you. And that's something that will be done with the help from the inspection app, where we use a ton of AI automations as well as our sketching software. Additionally, used with the MLS data and the public record data for the subject property, we think we can get about 80% of this report done post your inspection. So for the most part, the sales comparison approach should be the main thing that you're focusing on there. Other things to show off here is that we made sure to put the comps and the subjects side by side with each other, so you could view them all in one table. They're not moved on to multiple pages, so it's just like a quality of life thing that we've done for you. And some things to show off here is that if a certain feature may apply, or you don't want it to show up in the exported PDF of the report, you can make it so it's relevant. And essentially, we can add from a list of additional rows to add to the report. And so when I do say that this is a very big section, for the most part, a lot of these rows won't apply to your property. They won't be relevant to it. And so you won't need to collect information for it in the sales comparison approach. So that's something that should be known there. Is there any questions about the sales comparison approach here and how we approached it here?
Not that we're seeing. Nope.
Okay. Sounds good. With that being said, I can talk a little bit about the dwellings. So the 3.6 report is essentially they want you to note down for the subject property all of the structures that are on it. So whether that be a dwelling or an outbuilding, they'll want you to list them out and give details about individually about each of them. So we have a dwelling here called building 1. We note the number of units in it, the style of the dwelling, and a new field here is front door elevation. This is something that with our image analysis that we have integrated into our mobile app, we'll be able to estimate for you. These are the options that they give you. Other things are for each dwelling, if the homeowner is responsible for exterior maintenance, then they'll be required to fill out the quality and condition for that dwelling. And here you'll give Q and C ratings, as well as you'll note down details for exterior features of the property for that dwelling. So, for example, the walls and trim, the foundation of the dwelling, information related to their roof, and some information for the windows. Also, you'll provide heating and cooling information. Any other mechanical system types, you'll note those down. And then also, you'll note down the any dwelling defects as well. So again, same type of theme that we saw before. You'll provide the defect, feature, name, or the location of that defect, a brief description of what it is, whether it affects the soundness or structural integrity, and lastly, the recommended action there. So, and then with that being said, you can also provide commentary for that specific dwelling, as well as you can provide exhibits here too. And these are just photos. So this would be like I have here a category of dwelling front. This could be dwelling rear, maybe a non-continuous area category, or just a general dwelling exterior exhibit. So that's a little bit about the dwellings there.
I have a great question about cloning. So a big thing from the GSEs that we've understood and noticed is they're really against cloning. Cloning is going to be tough for the UAD 3.6 just because this report's dynamic. You can select any certain types of data fields, or one thing could be different about the subject property, and the whole new report could be completely different from what it was. Jordan and I we've been discussing internally on how to make that as easy as possible, coming with saved commentary within the report, having some sort of templates with certain checkboxes checked off, things like that. Cloning a report from an old report is probably not going to be possible with this UAD 3.6.
I also see a question here is how many fields of data input are there on the new report? I think in terms of data points, there are around 1,000, I would say. It's pretty high up there. But that's potentially that can be filled out. So depending on your property, the report is dynamic. You most of the time you're not going to have to fill out all 1,000 data points. Maybe some variation, maybe 400, maybe 300. Depends on your property.
The Q&A right here. How to reconcile differences in exterior, interior conditions and qualities. So that's going to be up to you. You're right. Jordan and I are going to be able to help assist with that with our computer vision within our mobile app to be able to determine exterior condition qualities, and also for condition qualities for kitchen and bath. Our mobile app, which is going through the Apple Store now. There's an approval process with Apple and Google Play, but once we're approved, that app will be available through the App Store, and you'll be able to use that at your inspections, and AI will be able to help you determine those condition quality recommendations. For zoning is tough. So can you customize drop-down choices? Zoning, can you add another response? Hey, Jordan, can you go to the zoning and show Craig here the zoning section here and how that works?
So this is zoning here. You'll provide the zoning compliance, illegal, legal, legal non-conforming, and non-zoning. You'll provide a classification code. And then again, if you have any questions about any of these, you can just ask Ava over here. But you also have a classification code description, which just, I guess, gives a little bit more detail about the classification code you provided, as well as an optional description for the zoning if it is legal.
Got a great question. Can our AI gal help write commentary? That's coming soon. Yes, Ava will be able to help you help everyone be able to input text into these text boxes fields. That's coming soon with our automation plan. So this past 2.5 months, 3 months, our entire engineering and development team have been just focused on getting GSE verified. With that being said, obviously we were the first ones, but now we're just focused on automation. Automation is coming from now and all the way to the end of the year. And our goal is to have that done and completed, fully automated by end of this year, early next. So that's what's coming soon.
I also see a question, is this compatible with Mac? It is. It's compatible with all devices. It's as long as you have Wi-Fi and a browser, you just go to Aivre.com and you would be able to access your reports. Another question I see is, did you state 80% of the work will be done in the field? A lot of it is. This new report is very data-driven based on your inspection. Most of the pages, except for the sales comparison approach and the other approaches to value, can mostly be filled out from your inspection. Again, we'll be using AI in our app with image analysis to basically pull out all the features of your home, even condition and quality ratings, and use that to enter in the data into the fields, as well as generate any additional commentary for that.
Got a great question from Martha. Can I select my comps from the comp map? Yes. Jordan, you want to touch on that, how we're approaching that with the maps?
Can you select your comps for the comp map? Yes. So that is something to come. As of right now, we allow you to define a market with the Aivre Analytics product there. We'll allow you to essentially choose, whether it be 3, 5, 6, 100 comps from that data set. That data, again, is from your MLS. We'll import that straight into your report. So again, just less work for you with that brutal sales comparison approach. So that's what's to come.
Great question. I see a question. All software providers offers a way to import and analyze MLS data. What sets this apart from the others? Newest technology, Rodney. We utilize AI to help with that. We provide support utilizing paired sales analysis, analytical tools to help you make those adjustments within the report. We also create PDFs to help you keep for your work file. And that's what sets us apart. No other vendor has all in one. Some just provide the reports. Some provide other different add-ons, where Aivre is a full encompassing product where we add in analytics, we add in the adjuster tool, we add in our own sketch maps, we provide location and location maps for free too as well. Our own in-house sketch app too. So Aivre is a full encompassing software that utilizes AI. I can't say that about the other software vendors.
I see a question here from Mark. 2 questions. Are comp photos required on 3.6? They are. For each comp, you'll most likely need to include a photo there, and that's something you'll do at the top of the sales comp grid. And the second question there is, do you think the process will take longer or shorter amounts of time compared to current reports? So I think in the next 4 months, yes, they will be, especially as more people get familiar with the new 3.6 report. But I think just naturally you'll get into a groove and you'll develop your workflow and how you're going to fill out 3.6 report. But additionally, I mean, we're working on tons and tons of automations at this current point in time that is going to help you fill out this report. So ideally, it will be in the long run faster than a 2.6 report.
Seeing some questions about comp photos. So yes, Jordan is correct on the 3.6. I've known that the GSEs are working to a point where they don't want to provide comp photos for 3.6. Obviously, FHA or the other ones will have to. But I think as of now, for GSE loans for 3.6, trying to make that barrier to entry, we're trying to kind of limit that process and kind of avoid the for comp photos. So hopefully they pass that. I believe this, Jordan, did we take off the screen? Did we lose the screen here for Aivre?
I did share. I did stop. Do you want me to share my screen again? We have some...
Yeah, I think someone wants to see the adjuster tool. They might have missed that one.
Sounds good. I can show that.
Again, time you not have to be connected to the web for inspection. The device will say all your data from your inspection will save locally to your device. And then once you do kind of connect to Wi-Fi or cell servers, that data will import to automatically. I'm seeing some question about voice to text features. Yes, we want to bring that at some point. Yes, I'd be thinking, be able to take notes from your inspection. Taking notes from voice to text would be amazing. I think that will be coming soon within the mobile, hopefully by end of year, early next. But I think that'd be really great to have within the app.
They said they wanted to see the paired sales analysis tool.
Yes, adjuster, correct. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, from the click of a button after defining your neighborhood, we'll search through that neighborhood and provide you a list of pairs that we think can help you make adjustments within the sales comparison approach. You'll be able to open up your adjustment workspace, select which features you want to get an adjustment for. I showed off lot size. We can select it here, navigate to the second tab, which is defining the adjustment. So again, we show on a map where the subject and these pairs are in relation to each other. We can also cycle through each pair that we found for you. And again, we'll see the map change. If we like a certain pair, if we think the adjustment that came from it is relevant to our report and we think it can add support, we can go ahead and mark that as selected. And if we like multiple ones, maybe we want this one as well, we can select that selected as well. We can review. We can see the pairs, the price for the two pairs, the median of the selected pairs, which we calculated. We can save it. So we have a dollar amount of $275 now. And then we can go ahead and export that both as a PDF and eventually we'll be going straight to the sales comparison approach as well.
So to ask Joshua R's question, yes, we are pulling MLS data directly from your MLS, but you definitely do not cancel your MLS subscription. So the way it works is when you onboard with Aivre, you'll provide us your MLS ID and board. That way with our partners, we can verify that you're a paying subscriber. Do not cancel that because you will not be able to make it through the onboarding process with Aivre. So it's definitely some sort of requirement to have with us. And then from there, we'll link directly into your MLS data. Right now, we're adding the automations when basically when you start your order within the field or the desk, we'll be able to pull in that data from your MLS and county assessors and automate the report from that data. To answer Channing's question about the adjuster tool, currently right now, those are the options we have. Solar panels and pools. Those will be a little bit tougher to be able to provide some paired sales analysis as limited data in specific areas have those. So hopefully we'll be able to provide those adjustments tools, but as of right now, no, we cannot. Regarding the other services like data masters, as of right now, Jordan and I, we've envisioned Aivre to be the full encompassing software. We want appraisers to stick to one software, not have third-party integrations. We believe, it's for me as an appraiser, it was always kind of stressful having to pay for multiple third-party integrations, and fees have not gone up, but also had to pay for more certain things. So, as Jordan and I, we decided to make everything encompassing into one. Really, so Aivre is that one-stop shop for all appraisers. Do we do regression analysis? Jordan, do you want to touch on regression analysis for Ron?
Yeah, we do perform regression analysis. I'll show it off here in this market analysis here. Let me
also
find-
MLS passwords. I just want to address that really quickly too before you start. No, we're not asking for your password. We're just asking for your ID number. That's it. That way, that through our partners, we're verifying that you are a MLS subscriber to that. So no passwords. Please do not enter your password. We'll never ask for your password. So when's the mobile app available? That's going to the Apple Store now. We're just waiting to get approved through Apple and Google Play. So hopefully soon Apple can get back to us and let us approve that.
So to talk about regression analysis, again, I mentioned this estimated subject market value is done and is came up with through regression analysis. And then additionally, down here, when we show historical market trends, this is also where regression analysis is done. And so you'd be able to do all this and again, download this information, either the image itself as a file or do it straight as an PDF where we summarize that information for you, as well as save it to a 3.6 report that you have with Aivre.
Okay.
So there's that.
Let's see. So working with MLS partnerships. So when you do onboard, we have a feature, and when you start typing in the board name, it'll automatically populate which ones. We so far cover 95% of the country. It's a little tougher. Jordan and I, we've seen coverage issues in very, very, very rural areas. It's only what we've seen so far. We haven't had really issue with the heavily urban, suburban areas of the area. So I think that's right now what we have is pretty good coverage of that. Let's see. So regarding cloning, third-party vendors, no, I don't see any third-party vendors plugging in to be able to clone files. The GSEs are very against cloning. They do not want the cloning to be there, and I think with this report being dynamic, it's going to be tougher to clone. Do we have a list of reference before onboarding? I believe, Jordan, do we have a list of the public MLSs that we have before onboarding? I'm sure we can make that if we need to.
Yeah, well, it's during your onboarding process, you'd be able to just type in and search for your MLS. And that's something that we've actually just made optional in our onboarding process. So you would be able to skip that if you don't have a valid MLS. And after that, you'd be able to upload CSV files from your MLS. So there should be we should have all options covered there in terms of data.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So Nora, private jobs. Yeah, we will have a GPAR form coming out sometime next year. This is strictly for lending purposes in GSEs, UAD 3.6. But we will have that GPAR form ready by some point next year. William, for tech support, yeah, we will definitely. We plan on expanding our team, having a customer success person in each time zone to be able to help provide with tech. As of right now, we have you're having direct access to Jordan and I, and our engineering team will be able to help you with that and assist you through that. So yes, we will have West Coast people, and then tech support, 100%. Yes, we will.
And Spencer, yes. Why would you want an 8th order polynomial? Well, you might not want it, but we give you the option to do it. So it's always good to have options, right? So
100%. We just want to put the best data in front of the appraiser and as many options in front of the appraiser. We truly believe our software is an appraiser powered by AI. We just want to give you the best tools and let you guys make the decisions on what you guys think is best. I've been using this analogy, the last few times, and think, as everyone knows, Super Mario the video game. Well, the appraiser is Super Mario going through the video game, and it's kind of tough to go through the game as little Mario. But as you take the mushroom makes Mario big and strong. That's kind of what Aivre is. Aivre is the mushroom to strengthen the appraiser and empower them to do more or less, and spend more time on things that they love. But we just want to put the best tools in front of the appraisers.
You're
mute, Jim.
muted.
I think you might be still muted, Jim.
Jake is saying, take mushrooms, everyone. So
no, do not take mushrooms. No. Is it announced? Super Mario, the video game.
I saw a bunch of people asking how they can sign up. Well, there's a pop-up on your screen right now. Click that, use the code AVA. You can get another personal demo from Jake or somebody on his team, Jordan maybe. But yeah, they're really excited. There's really no reason not to sign up right now. If you get a UAD 3.6 order, what are you going to do? Well, Jake and Jordan can help you process that through, get it done with their platform, and it's free right now. So there's really no reason not to. Hit that code, get signed up, and really take it for a spin.
Yeah, if you end up getting a 3.6 order, please reach out to us. Jordan and I will be able to walk you through the 3.6 report and kind of help you through that software and kind of get you that first order out. We understand the first one has gone out recently, and credit to them, hats off to everyone on that one, and we're really looking excited to get that next one out too as well. We're really pumped, and we'll walk you through it. Right now, we have please schedule on our website for a demo with me. We're currently onboarding a new number every single week for appraisers. Jordan and I, we couldn't open the door totally yet. We want to be able to control and build in customer service processes. And right now, Jordan and I are doing that. And we want to be able to service everyone for this and service everyone correctly. So we're really excited. And please schedule a demo with Jordan and I, and we'll onboard you right there.
And speaking of recognition, we're doing our Buzzy Awards. So if you want to recommend Software of the Year, I would have to say this is a pretty good one. Put down Aivre as you're doing it. We're looking for nominations right now. So give us your feedback, appraisers. Nominate an Appraiser of the Year. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is really cool to see this in action. And like I said, there's really no reason for them not to try it out, especially now with the format that you have. If they get that UAD 3.6 from a lender, what are they going to do? Well, they're right there ready to go.
Of course, we'll be here. Please reach out to us.
All right. Well, we'll be sending out a recording to everyone as soon as it processes. Thank you guys so much, Jordan and Jake. It was really cool to see the software, and we're looking forward to seeing you at the next one.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon. Thanks, Jim.
Bye.